Have you ever noticed that once you start down the path of complaining about something, you find more and more things to complain about? Gratitude is a way to combat this negative cycle. And today I want to discuss 5 ways to develop a gratitude practice in your life. Welcome to today's video. My name is Lindsay and I run the blog The Well-Rounded Teacher, where I give you tips, tricks, and ideas for living a more balanced lifestyle. Thank you so much for joining me on today's video. Recently, I read a study by Dr. Robert A. Emmons of UC Davis and Dr. Michael McCullough of University of Miami. And they took a group of people and divided them into 3 separate groups. Group number 1 was to write down all of the things that they were grateful for each and every day. Group number 2 wrote down all of the negative things or the complaints that they had every day. And group number 3 just wrote down important life things, whether it was positive or negative, it didn't really matter. After 10 weeks went by, they found that group number 1, the group that wrote down things they were grateful for, group number 1 was more optimistic and had a better overall feeling about life. They also exercised more frequently and visited the doctor less than the people in groups number 2 and 3. I thought this research was really interesting, simply because we know mentally that gratitude is so important and we know that we should be doing more of it, but sometimes it's easy to let it slide or easy to forget. And like I said, once you start down a negative cycle, it's hard to get out of that. I think that if 2020 has taught us anything at all, it is that once you start down that negative path, it is so easy to continue there and to live in that space, and it is definitely much more challenging to get out of it. I think that it has also taught us that we have a lot to be thankful for and that we need to focus on those things instead of the things that we don't have. So today I want to talk about 5 ways that you can develop a gratitude practice in your life. Way number 1 is to have a gratitude journal. So if you have a gratitude journal, you're writing things down every day that you're thankful for. And I think there's something really powerful about being able to write it down, because it gives you a place to go back and reflect on those days when you're feeling down and that you feel like you're getting sucked into that negative complaining cycle. You have something to go back to and draw upon. So going back to your gratitude journal and being able to look at the things that you're thankful for. This is something that I'm trying to work on this year. I have found myself getting caught up in the negative cycle from time to time, and I know that it's important to go back and reflect on things that I can be grateful for. And so I will leave a link down below to a few different journals that I have found on Amazon that were helpful to me or that I think might be helpful to you as well. Number 2 is to write thank you notes. So there is something very powerful about writing a note of thanks to someone. Sometimes we mentally think, oh yeah, I really appreciate how that person was there to encourage me, or how that person did something for me, but then we forget to actually tell them thank you. And when you write them a note, it's something that they'll have with them that they will cherish for a while, and it might be just the thing that they need to uplift their day as well. And so writing a thank you note is a great way to show gratitude to others. The 3rd item is a verbal thanks. It's never trivial to say thank you to someone. So if they are doing something for you, or if they've helped you with something, just make it a habit to say thank you and show your appreciation to that person. A little bit of thanks can go a long way. Number 4 is to intentionally schedule time. So that's one of the reasons why I added this to the self-care calendar, and I will link up in the cards above so that you can see a little bit about the self-care calendar. But I know that it is very important to be able to set some time aside in order to intentionally show gratitude. I think writing in the gratitude journal is a great thing to do on a daily basis, but if you can intentionally schedule some time to sit down and reflect every week and write a thank you note to, even if it's just one person, I think that's a great way to improve your gratitude practice. And then the fifth thing is to have a gratitude jar. I think that this idea is especially fun if you have a family and maybe you're trying to help your kids improve their attitude of gratitude. I think having a jar is a great way to do that. And so what you can do is have different color paper, maybe a different color for each member of the family. And when you find something that you're thankful for, you can write it on that little slip of paper and add it to the jar. You could have kind of a little competition if things are getting really low in the house. You could have a little competition where let's see who can have the most papers in the jar. And that might be a great way for them to start looking for positive things that their siblings are doing, positive things that are happening to them. And it can just kind of bring up the attitude that's going on in the house. So, and plus it's a visual, which is really, really nice because you can see all of those things that you're grateful for adding up inside of the jar. I would love to know, what are some ways that you have found to show gratitude towards others, or some ways that you're working on improving your gratitude practice? And let's go ahead and continue that conversation down below. And if you got value from today's video, please click the like button. Remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss another video from me. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.